Hey, welcome to another episode of Breaking Protocol from the Razzle Dazzle Show, our ongoing miniseries where we break down key updates and design questions straight from the development of Shade Protocol. These episodes are built around the game's community engagement series, Devs Ask You or DAUs, where Kendall and the team not only show what's changing, but invite fans to shape the journey with them. Today we're digging into a fan favorite, the Guitar Axe. This isn't just a flashy weapon, it's a prime example of Shade Protocol's interactive, community-driven design process. From dash cancels to massive electrified smashes, this weapon now feels like it truly belongs in the hands of a cyber Valkyrie. Be sure to follow us and Little Legendary on our socials and YouTube channel, and be sure to join the Shade Protocol Discord server to follow new DAUs, vote in polls, and share your voice directly with the dev team. Links to everything will be in the description down below, and with all that being said, it's Razzle Dazzle time! I'm gonna ask you, the gamer, not necessarily you, the game director, this next question. How do you think the new speed and flow of the combo for the Guitar Axe feel in combat overall? How fun is it to just lay these heavy attacks onto enemies?
It's very, I think the word I would use is very rewarding, because it's definitely slower than everything else in the game, but there are enough ways to get those hits in that if you're dealing with the simpler enemies, sometimes you think, okay, well, I mean, this is such a simple basic enemy, I can see it, and the moment that it sees me, it's going to walk to me, right? And it's going to run to me and try to hit me. Like, you'll memorize that very, very quickly, and you can, at first you might see them and just throw a spear, and okay, that's great. But then there might be other versions of enemies that do the same thing that just don't die to a spear hit, right? So you'll say, like, why not smack them with my axe, right? Because I get to move forward, the enemy's moving to me, so I still feel motion. I'm not losing any time here. I think that's the way I would phrase it. Like, it's very rewarding. It definitely is intention also to be a really, I would say, high skill cap weapon. Like, it'll have that big upper limit of ability where people could get a lot, of value out of the Guitar Axe if they know the enemies, if they planned ahead. And when I say plan ahead, it's not only the spear, it's not only the axe. An example is like the axe has an ability which lets you crash. Like, so if you're in the air and you press down plus the input of the axe, in this case is B in a controller, she starts like spinning down with the axe and crashes down and crashes really hard on enemies. So you could see an enemy far away and you could throw a chakram and then teleport from the chakram and crash through. But you could also throw a spear through an enemy, which will push them to the wall, right? Then you can jump on the spear and then crash on them, right? So there's many things you could do in order to get like that benefit of doing that attack right and get a lot of damage out of it without having to just say, okay, I'm just going to jump on top of the enemy and then I'll just spin for like a fraction of a second because I'm close to the ground, right? And it won't feel as impactful or do as much damage. So players that are more they're interacting more between all the instruments will be able to get more out of the Guitar Axe, and it's definitely intended. I think that's intended, and it'll feel great. So my main answer right now is I think it feels really rewarding. I think the forward motion and the screen shake need to be looked at for sure to make sure that feels really good and that you're not moving forward more than you expect, because if not, you can be in danger, right? And the screen shake is definitely going to be something that we have to fine tune because it's meant to be a really, really heavy weapon.
When summoning, I guess, if that's the proper term, these weapons, especially the Guitar Axe, and I'm assuming the Guitar Axe is probably one of the biggest weapons Zora can handle, can wield. When summoning these things, do they have like different, I guess, visual forms? Like, here's the Guitar Axe, but when not used as a weapon, it looks more like a guitar, but when you're gonna like use it for an attack, it kind of like transforms a little bit to then like now blades are showing and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. At this time, the current design is that the instruments themselves already should kind of look like the instrument
Got it.
that they represent. However, they're a little bit more obscure in that sense. So it'll take seeing Zura play it to get it. If of course, whenever you're giving the instrument, the story would already kind of position this, right? And it's very simple to see whenever you gain these instruments, and that's the name of the thing, and it's just not that difficult to catch that part of it. But in terms of like, for example, the spear right now. Oh, sorry. Let's use the axe for example. There's a sequence with the axe that you do whatever. Let's say axe 1, axe 2, axe 3. Then there's this ability that you get, pretty much that lets you pretty much do like one riff where she will like play the guitar. Lilo, she'll like grab it like a guitar, and she will do like one riff down, like she would like hand up to down.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
how to say that better, but it's like a riff, right? She's just like, bam, she's doing that, but it doesn't sound like that, but that's what she does. And so you could get 1, 2, 3, and then do that thing, and then she's like literally using it as a guitar. And there's an effect there, that has to do with the combo system and the musical, pretty much composing the musical combos. There's some effects that come from that. It's very exciting, but that's a whole topic in itself. But yes, there are those moments, the moments where you've composed the combo, is where you'll see Zura play the instruments. And for example, the world cut, if in the katana, whenever you're cutting the universe in half. You can see her playing the violin, right? So it's not very evident that the scabbard, I guess, or the sheath of the katana is a violin. Like that's not evident and not easy to see. But the way she uses it and the way Zura's playing it, it's very obvious that that's what it is, right? So I think like it's like we're trying to blend both without going into the hyper gimmicky. Look, the instrument is like literally an axe with like, it's literally a guitar with an edge, right? That's not that there's nothing wrong with that, but we're saying, that's probably not how these instruments would look if they're primarily meant to like be things that are, universe altering instruments, right? So we're trying to do that. I can see how some of them will not be as evident, for example, in an image. But all of them in concept art have like the violin, the scabbard of the blade has the sense that it is like a kind of like the actual violin. So it gives you that sense. They look really clear in the digital art, but in the game definitely is going to be something that the motion and the usage is what's going to drive that fantasy, and the sound, of course.
Understood. Shade Protocol continues to be shaped not just by its creators, but by its community. Whether it's redefining how story is told or rethinking player immersion, every DAU opens the door to deeper collaboration. Thank you so much, Kendall.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This has been another episode of Breaking Protocol from the Razzle Dazzle Show. Want to help shape what Shade Protocol becomes? Join the Shade Protocol Discord server to follow new DAUs, vote in polls, and share your voice with the dev team directly. And if you like this breakdown, then stay tuned for more spotlights and interviews with Kendall right here on the Razzle Dazzle Show. Remember, the future of Amiria is still being written. We'll catch you on the next one.